aim, the why, and the problem we aim or want or can solve with our vacuum insulation energy technologies. The next innovation will change the way we see and think about glazed windows. But first, we need to see it and we need to feel it for ourselves. These photographs were taken in Munich, Germany during my conference speech when I looked at the incredibly large windows in a different way in the middle of a bitterly cold winter. It became immediately clear that these windows were the main source of heating energy loss. This is a photograph I took during the peak of a very hot day in Dubai, just outside the hotel. You can really feel that such large windows, how impressive, are becoming major source of cooling energy loss. And here inside the hotel room, we see extremely large windows covered with basic curtains. As a result, the air conditioning units are running constantly, working without pause to maintain the internal temperature. And it is the same here as well. For the past 15 years, my research has centered around vacuum glazing, its design, construction, edge sealing, and thermal performance, and more. A quick search of my name Saim alongside vacuum will lead you to many of my published results. The logic has always been simple. Better windows mean reduced heat loss in cold climate or reduced cooling loss in hot climate. That means lower energy bills and a meaningful contribution to climate goals like sustainability and net zero. But in reality, applying that logic in real buildings, homes has proven incredibly difficult. From a scientific angle, the vacuum glazing industry continues to evolve, but progress is slow. Only a handful of manufacturers have achieved long-term reliability in edge sealing, which is my specialty, and even then, real-world stress from transportation along with constant wind, moisture, and temperature cycles can lead to edge seal degradation. One problem solved often reveals another. In short, vacuum glazing is powerful, but it is expensive, fragile, and difficult to implement at scale. And local glass manufacturers and distributors still prefer you to use their double or triple glazed windows because this industry is standardized. What now I'm saying, perhaps you need to keep your windows. You don't need to replace windows. Because replacing windows isn't just expensive and slow, it is often completely unrealistic unless the glass is broken and literally falling out. This is especially true in the United Kingdom, where around half of all homes remain poorly insulated, and where more than 500,000 listed buildings are legally protected under the Planning Listed Buildings and Conservation Areas Act 1990. These protections exist to preserve historical features, which means original single glazed windows cannot be replaced without listed building consent. And in many cases, this consent is refused. I've seen the first hand how landlords and homeowners abandon the idea of upgrading to energy efficient glazings, and especially more advanced options like vacuum glazing. Because once they are faced with installation costs 3 to 4 times higher than the product itself, long delays, and the disruption caused by scaffolding, even when you genuinely want to upgrade, it is often just expensive and time consuming. Now you don't need to replace the windows. A whole change of arguments. and reasons. Vacuum insulation curtain is another innovation, is the world's first disruptive curtain with vacuum insulation. It delivers real energy savings without contractors, scaffolding, or structural changes, and is easy to transport and install as DIY. In other words, we are not here to disrupt the glass industry or replace your beautiful windows. Vacuum insulation curtain simply minimizes cooling loss in hot climates and heating loss in cold climates, making homes and buildings more comfortable and energy efficient. It is available in all dimensions, sizes, and shapes which are customizable to your requirements. Vacuum insulation curtain VIC first launched in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia at Saudi Projects 2025 exhibition. Our primary motivation for launching VIC was for Middle Eastern countries where energy conscious decision makers appreciate innovative ideas and act on them with a forward thinking mindset. In regions like Saudi Arabia, the United Arab Emirates, Qatar, and Kuwait, large buildings are dominated by expensive glazed facades that lose a tremendous amount of cooling energy. What a coincidence! The hotel where I stayed during the Riyadh International Exhibition Center had a view that perfectly highlighted the importance of the vacuum insulated curtain. Let's see how. This is the room where I stayed. It had a beautiful window, but to reduce excessive heat, exterior claddings were installed outside the window to block direct sunlight during the daytime hours. This cladding is permanently fixed on the exterior facade. This is the nighttime view from the same window inside the room. The lights are on, but the outside view is no longer visible. So I switched off the lights to experience how during the night we can no longer see through the window. After all, the whole point of having a window is to enjoy the outside view. But with exterior cladding permanently fixed to block excessive heat during the daytime, that purpose is lost. It was justifiable until now with the new revolutionary innovation of the vacuum insulated curtain VIC. We bring back the purpose or true purpose of windows, the view, while still minimizing excessive heat from the glazed windows. In cities with higher cooling loads and glassy or glass heavy buildings, vacuum insulated curtain helps keep indoor space cooler by slowing heat gain through windows. Traditional curtains in places like Riyadh often look good but offer inadequate insulation, although it is also suitable for cold and hot climates as well. The VIC is a unique curtain that consists of a back layer and a front layer. The back layer is made of durable cotton and stitched with 200 millimeter by 200 millimeter square pockets. Into each pocket, users can place a removable 3 millimeter thick vacuum insulation panel. This back layer can also be installed within existing curtains. The front layer is made from decorative silk, satin, or polyester fabric, giving it the appearance of a regular curtain, and this front layer is fully customizable. The pockets are spaced 10 millimeter apart, allowing the curtain to slide and fold just like any standard normal curtain. To compare the thermal conductivity and thickness, just to repeat, the lower the thermal conductivity, the better the insulation and the less cooling energy loss in hot climate and less heating energy loss in cold climate. Our 7 millimeter thick vacuum insulated curtain VIC achieves a thermal conductivity of just 13.08 milliwatt per meter per Kelvin. Remarkably low, let's look at others. For example, a 10 millimeter thick thermal insulated curtain is 40 milliwatt per meter per Kelvin. A 3 millimeter decorative curtain is 65 milliwatt per meter per Kelvin. Blackout curtains at 8 millimeter are 35 milliwatt per meter per Kelvin. A typical 1 millimeter sheer curtain reaches 90 milliwatt per meter per Kelvin. That's why we had the exterior cladding. Even a 4 millimeter lined curtain shows 70 milliwatt per meter per Kelvin, and a modern blackout curtain at 6 millimeter has 50 milliwatt per meter per Kelvin. So in this case, clearly the VIC vacuum insulated curtain outperforms all of them in terms of the thermal conductivity performance. To compare U value or thermal transmittance performance, our 7 millimeter thick vacuum insulated curtain VIC achieves U value of 1.87 watt per meter square per Kelvin, which is significantly better than any of the existing curtains available today as shown in the comparative graph. To conduct indicative energy savings analysis for a hot climate using Riyadh, Saudi Arabia as the reference city, it is important to acknowledge the complexity involved. Here, energy savings depend on several factors: the type of glazed window, the air gap between the window and the curtain, the type of curtain used, and the cooling profiles. Full technical details are available in the product catalog. However, to summarize, by replacing conventional curtains with vacuum insulated curtain, energy savings can reach between 33% and 23% with single glazing, and between 20% and 28% with double glazing. To conduct indicative energy savings analysis for a cold climate using London, United Kingdom as the reference city, it is important to highlight the complexity again of the calculations involved. Energy savings depend on, again, several factors: the type of glazed window used in the United Kingdom, the air gap between the window and the curtain, and the curtain types and the heating profiles of the space, the number of days that heating is being used in a particular year. Full technical details are provided in the product catalog. However, to summarize, by replacing conventional curtains with vacuum insulated curtains, energy saving range between 30% and 13% with single glazing, and between 11% and 26% with double glazing in the United Kingdom. It is important to be transparent. Vacuum insulated curtain is still a beautiful curtain, as can be seen here in a room, not a sealed window system. As with all curtains, there are age effects, minor thermal leakage around the sides. But even accounting for that, the performance speaks for itself. Vacuum insulation curtain is a breakthrough in soft layer thermal technology, bridging the gap between expensive glazing systems and accessible DIY solutions. Vacuum insulated curtain improves the thermal performance of guest rooms, lounges, and dining areas without affecting the design or requiring any building work. It quietly reduces heating and cooling costs and is available in elegant finishes to match luxury interiors. For example, it is also possible to retain your existing curtains and install only the vacuum insulated bake layer, which still delivers significant energy savings. For more details about the vacuum insulated curtain, including installation instructions, product codes, designs, sizes, and FAQs, visit www.sanulondon.com or download the full product catalog by scanning this QR code with your mobile phone. If you want the best, this is the best. We will make you a realistic, competitive offer that you would be inclined to consider it. We have an excellent and dedicated team, and we invite you to get in touch with our customer service team for further information, tailored price quotations, or to discuss your specific project requirements. You can explore our full range of vacuum insulation energy products, review details of the specification of each product, purchasing process, and browse our FAQs by visiting our website www.sanulondon.com. If you'd prefer a direct conversation, you are most welcome to contact me personally by email or by phone so we can discuss how our disruptive innovations can contribute to the success of your project. Let's work together to take a meaningful step forward in the evolution of energy savings by putting our vacuum insulation innovative solutions into action where impact truly begins. Thank you.